Hey, happy, beautiful, amazing day. Dr. Bob Rakowski here. All things health, happiness, and success. Lots of questions lately about coffee and caffeine. I found an interesting article entitled Coffee, the Good, the Bad, and the Jittery. And there's a picture of that article, pretty fascinating. They talk about pros, they talk about cons, and both are present, as are in most food choices and most things in life. So let's go way back. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, let your food be your medicine. And then about 300 years later, Lucretius said, one man's food's another man's poison. The reason I show pizza there is, I happen to love pizza, but it's got gluten and dairy. And especially in today's food environment, these are significant poisons for a lot of people. The great news is you can get gluten-free, dairy-free, even fully vegan options of pizza that are actually pretty good. And this statement may be most powerful. Today, most men's food may be considered a poison to all humanity with all the herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, genetic modification, etc. Just not good for what we're seeing happen to humanity. So caffeine, what is it? Well, it's a chemical compound. It exists in over 60 species of plants. Certainly a lot of people relate it to coffee and tea. But some interesting data is that caffeine is a natural insecticide. And, my mentors taught me that parasites only attack weak tissue. These bugs eating that plant, something's wrong with the plant's defense. It can't defend itself. So could caffeine be part of plant defense? I believe that it could be. And let's look at some interesting studies. Angelina Jolie very famously, had a double mastectomy, and I believe she also had her ovaries removed because she had the BRCA gene. Now, keep in mind, the BRCA gene's been around probably since the beginning of humanity, but breast cancer has accelerated to a phenomenal degree. So what's going on with that? Well, other talks I mentioned, it was the toxic estrogens in the environment, estrogens in plastics and pesticides injected into animals, and even metalloestrogens. But here, coffee enhances methylation. That can prevent cancer. That's from the journal Carcinogenesis. And women with BRCA who drank 6 or more cups of coffee a day had a 69% less onset of breast cancer. That's pretty powerful. Similar on prostate cancer. Again, men with greater than 6 cups a day, 57% lethal prostate cancer. Remember, more men will die with prostate cancer than from prostate cancer. And then how about this 5.1 million people follow-up year study that people that drank the most coffee lived the longest. So there's something in there which can be quite good. And some will argue that it's the antioxidants. Coffee has America's #1 source of antioxidants. Some people talk about the caffeine effect on the adrenals, and that's well documented. But most people don't drink a cup of coffee rarely. They drink it consistently. And in North America, it's 3.3 times a day. And here's what they found. Even with a single dose of caffeine a day, the effect on the adrenals basically disappeared after 5 days of consumption. Well, why is that? Bodies ignore constant stimuli, and the adrenals said, okay, I don't need to be pushed. I see I'm getting this in my system, and no need to release stress hormones. Good, thorough article, 9 reasons that people should avoid coffee. All of these are absolutely valid reasons. But I'm a big fan of finding ways to get people what they want in a way that serves them. And we have a superfood in coffee, Ganoderma lucidum, that negates every single one of these issues. So let's get through it. Ganoderma is phenomenal for high blood pressure, and it does it by some different mechanisms. It's a natural ACE modulator, and it actually supports the parasympathetic nervous system. It's also a GABA facilitator, so it calms the mind, and that works against insomnia. So people that consume Ganoderma fall asleep faster, sleep deeper, longer, wake up more refreshed. How about this International Journal Pharmacy article? Ganoderma lucidum, it is proved to completely eradicate migraine without side effects. Now, that's in the majority of patients, not all of them. So pretty powerful there. And again, worth another look. Coffee is acidic. It has more than 30 different acids. But when we prepare our coffee, we have a pre-brewed process which minimizes the acid in coffee and maximizes Ganoderma's nutrient efficiency. And our attorneys, right? We're in business 13 years, operational in 38 countries, basically say that Ganoderma is safe for pregnancy and nursing. This was a mouse study because we wouldn't do this to humans, but they gave a toxin that was associated with neural tube defects. But when the pregnant mice were pre-dosed with Ganoderma, the incidence of these horrible neural tube defects reduced from nearly 80% to about 20%. This was a rat study because we wouldn't induce severe hypertension in a pregnant human. But one of the things we know is that when mom has extreme high blood pressure, it's damaging to the baby brain. But when mom was given Ganoderma and the extreme high blood pressure, baby's brain was protected. Ganoderma is proven to help seal and heal the leaky gut. And it can even prevent sepsis, which can be a deadly condition for over 200,000 people a year in the US. Ganoderma is also great for the microbiome, and it helps people to lose fat more effectively. And I've shared this study a few times, but the difference between these two mice, they were actually identical twins to start, but this one was given an obese microbiome, this one a normal microbiome, and on the exact same food, the exact same quantity, the exact same quality. The mouse that got the obese microbiome became obese. And by the way, Ganoderma helps to prevent the obese microbiome, even reverse it to a healthy microbiome. When it comes to diabetes, a lot of people put sugar in their coffee, so Ganoderma works by the exact same mechanism of metformin. Metformin has tons of side effects that are not desirable. Ganoderma, tons of side benefits, which are desirable. It's also anti-allergy, great for airways inflammation and asthma, and it can even be used to treat and or prevent autoimmune disease. So there is some good, some bad, and some jittery about coffee, but when it's infused with Ganoderma, the problems go away and they become health benefits. So I hope you find this informative. I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful.